Yeah, I don't know how he throws that shot, man. What's up, guys? We're out here at Gatewood in Cartersville, Georgia. We are going to be doing a time-lapse hole-by-hole walkthrough review. Very curious to hear if any of you guys, anybody watching the video, has any aces out here. Please let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Tell us what hole, tell us what you threw, tell us when you threw it. Behind us, for those of you who have not played here before, is the warm-up field, practice field. You got two baskets. There's a red one over there and the other one over there. Those are about 280 or 300 feet apart, I think. Great for warming up. You're going to need it. Course has got a couple longer holes, and it's, I would call it, pretty technical. Great views along the lake, so if you haven't been here, make sure you get out here. The first hole is right over that way, so we're going to get into it. Let's go. Okay, we've arrived at the first tee at Gatewood. As you can see, the name is very fitting. There is a gate made out of wood. We're at the first tee. First hole is a 313-foot dogleg, slight dogleg right. I don't know if you can see the basket on camera. It's a yellow band. It's over there. You're either going to be throwing a baby turnover backhand or a forehand. Dealer's choice here. Once you get through that initial gap, you're going to at least have circle two. Kind of a low canopy, not too hard of a first shot. Let's walk the hole. We've arrived at the green at hole one. As you can see, it is pretty narrow, low ceiling, but it opens up here. That last tree right there, that's the one you want to beat to get inside circle. Good luck with your birdie. Let's move on to hole two. All right, we've arrived at hole two. We have another technical dogleg right, slight dogleg right. The basket's going to be right over there through those trees. 342 feet down the hill, and then where that gap is right there is where you need it to go that way. Forehand, definitely the play if you're a righty. If you're a lefty, it's probably a backhand. You can throw a turnover if you want. That's pretty dangerous. A lot of the locals will tell you there is a route this way. I don't know. Let's walk the hole. We've arrived at the green at hole two. As you can see, sloping away as you get up here, and the ground is firm and fast, so you have to guard against rollaways and skips. Angle control is going to be a premium on your tee shot. If you don't hit the tee shot, on your up shot. Good luck with your birdie. That's on to hole three. All right, we're at hole three. It's a 242-foot tunnel shot, slightly uphill. Basket's right there. As you can see, you're throwing over the water through that gap up there. Not the hardest shot, but I would definitely give this hole the nod as one of Gatewood's signature holes, just for its view. It's very pretty when it's nice and sunny and the boats are humming out there. Vibes are immaculate. Let's walk the hole. All right, we've arrived at the green at hole three. I'm about 20 feet behind the basket. If you've thrown it here, you've done well. If you throw it short, 20 feet, you're doing even better with the uphill putt. As you can see, the view is still amazing. Good luck with your birdie. On to hole four. All right, we've arrived at hole four. It is a blind, dogleg right, downhill finish, 280-foot par three. Your initial gap is going to be right there, and then the basket's going to be way down there, right next to the beach. It is a very technical shot, in my opinion. You really have to know the distance in which you're allowing your disc to get right. Otherwise, you are going to catch one of those many guardians a lot quicker than you realize. Let's walk the hole. We've reached the green at hole four. I'm standing about 20 feet left of the basket. As you can see through the walkthrough, it is a pretty significant slope, and we have the beautiful beach right here, along with I don't know, I guess somebody built a tent. In the summer, a lot of times you will have people docked right here, having a good time. Another absolutely gorgeous scene here at Gatewood. Another beautiful sight. And then we have our fellow boater out there. Let's get to hole five. Good luck with the birdie. All right, we've arrived at hole five, which is a par four, 400 feet. up that hill through those two gaps. You do have two gaps because you've got this one and then you have this one. From what I've seen, this is always the more traditionally taken one on the righty backhand, and try to push it up to the left. You can take that gap on a hyzer flip or forehand. You've got the hill to deal with, you got the elevation change. Let's walk the hole. Arrived at the green at hole 5. We are standing about 15 feet past the basket. As you can see, you've got this gap for your upshot, or you have that much narrower gap that's over here for your upshot, depending on where you are off the tee or on your second shot. Good luck with your birdie. On to hole 6. We've arrived at the tee at hole 6. It is a par 3, 304 feet, straight through that tunnel, about as straight as you can make it. I think you can see the band on film there. Yeah, narrow, low ceiling to start. You've got slope on both sides. Where the fairway isn't is heavily sloped on both sides. So you're really looking to throw a very straight shot here. Let's walk the hole. We've arrived at the green at hole 6. As you can see through the walkthrough, very straight shot, slightly downhill, slopes on both sides, quick little green. Throw something flat, park it, get your birdie, move on. Good luck. We've reached the tee pad at hole 7. It is a par 3, 275 feet. Again, we have an extremely narrow gap. You're going to want to hit that one, and then it's going to dogleg right, and it goes downhill just a touch. There is a gap over here that, again, the locals will tell you is also a line. I guess you have to find out. Let's walk the hole. We've arrived at the green at hole 7. As you can see, downhill, fast green, very sloping. Trying to hit, that's where you're coming out of the gap with a forehand, skip to that tree, make your birdie. On to hole 8. We're at the tee pad at hole 8, which is a par 4, 422 feet. Severely downhill, flattening out, then going severely uphill. You're trying to miss these 3 in the middle. It is a low ceiling, so you're trying to push flat off the tee, and the basket, I don't know what's going on over there, and the basket is going to be up here on the right. Let's walk the hole. So, a quick side note before we walk the hole, I wondered what that sound was. As soon as I cut the camera, 3 fox came running up that hill. Be on the lookout. We've reached the green at hole 8. As you guys could see and still see, that slope downhill is pretty severe. The slope uphill is pretty severe. If you get a drive through that initial gap where it gets flat, you can pump it up here, have yourself a nice little eagle look. Good luck. We're at the tee pad at hole 9. It is a par 3, 220 feet. You've got a gap that way to the basket. You also have a gap this way to the basket. Dealer's choice here, a little bit of a breather hole. Should be a green light for a birdie every time. Let's walk the hole. Arrived at the green at hole 9. We're about 10 feet past the basket. Very simple shot. Good luck with your birdie. Let's get to the last hole on the front 10. We've reached the tee pad at hole 10. It is a par 3, 255 feet. Not sure if you can see the band right there. Yep. So you've got 2 options here again. You can go this route on a little hyzer, flip up to flat, and then let it finish left. Or you can hit this gap on a little bit of a very stable, throw something stable, turned over, let the stability fight it through. And you can also chop the forehand on a baby Annie through that gap. So a lot of options here, very technical hole. I'd love to hear if anybody's ever aced this one. Let me know. Let's walk the hole. We've reached the green at hole 10. As you guys could see, somewhat technical line, at least for an amateur like myself. Pretty open green. Get yourself in circle, make your birdie, get onto the back 10. Let's go. That's it for the front 10 hole by hole walkthrough and hole review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, please let me know if any of you watching this, if you've aced any of those holes. Please tell me which one, how you did it, when you did it. Love to hear about it. We'll have the back 10 on another video. Hope you guys enjoy that one as well. In the meantime, make sure you be like Barrett and ring that bell